Have you ever tried to make the sourdough starter and it failed and failed and then you gave up? Well, that happened to me before I discovered a really easy method. Good morning, this is Gina with Coptic Homestead. I wanted to talk to you about sourdough starter. First of all, let me just show you what are your tools that you must have and what are the extras that if you wish you can, but I will show you that this method works. Over the next 6 to 7 days, we're gonna go over sourdough starter day and night. Let me first show you what you need. This is the scale, 100% you don't need it, so I'm gonna remove that. This is a sourdough whisk. For now, you will not need it. If you wish to have it, you can, but you can totally go with a fork. And stainless steel works perfectly, by the way. So the myth about not putting stainless steel, it's a myth. It has never affected my sourdough. You need a glass, which you're gonna fill with water. No measuring cups either. Watch how simple that would be. Measuring spoons, no measuring spoons either. You do need good quality all-purpose flour. I use the King Arthur organic all-purpose flour, and this is not sponsored, but that's the one I use. You do need a jar. I get this mason jar, it's 24 ounces. You get whatever jar you're comfortable with, but prefer that it has a wide mouth. This method that I'm gonna show you does not involve so much discarding. So let me just explain about sourdough before we get started. Sourdough is the wild yeast. So it is a replacement of your conventional yeast or fast-acting yeast, instant yeast, any type of commercially sold yeast. It is a wild yeast. And how does it become a yeast? The flour has carbohydrates and sugars that would need to be consumed, and they get consumed by wild yeast. The first day you're gonna put a little bit of flour, mix up with water. You will do it again in the evening, and so on and so forth, until you have built a colony of wild yeast that is very strong. And this is how you achieve that bubbly expansion of the sourdough starter. That gives you the wild fermentation of the bread. It does take a little bit of time, longer than conventional yeast. The health benefits are enormous, and you can research that. Let's get started. Today is day 1, morning. In order to minimize the discarding, we will put a small quantity of flour to the jar, and it has to be a clean, sanitized jar. You don't have to use a measuring spoon. I'm using it just to scoop the flour. As you can see, it's like mounded, and there is no measurement really that I'm using. All right, and let me get some water. So I've gotten just a little bit of water, and I didn't measure this. I will put some water, mix, and I will show you the consistency. I have to put a little bit more water. As you can see, it's a little bit stiff. With just a little bit of water. All right, and let me show you the consistency of this. It is loose, not a dough, but more like pancake batter. But it's very little on the bottom. And this method will help you eliminate the consistent discarding of the starter. Now, I will loosely cover it, just like this. I'll just lay the cover on top. I will not seal it or anything. And I'll come back to it in the evening to show you the next step. Follow with me, and by the end of the week, you will have your successful and active sourdough starter. Now we have reached to the evening. And I'm going to feed the starter same way as I had done earlier in the morning. So I'm just gonna put as much as inside the jar, which is about a spoon and a half maybe, or a spoon and a quarter. And just mix it well. The jar is nice and warm because it stayed inside the oven. The oven was not turned on, it's just the light was on. Okay, and this is exactly texture you should be looking at, not liquid. I'll just loosely cover that and put it back again inside the oven with the light on. No heat, no warm, no temperature, nothing, just the light on inside the oven. Okay, I'll see you again tomorrow morning. Good morning, and today is day 2, and let me show you day 2 in the morning. Not much happened at all to the starter, which is expected. Now I will go ahead and feed it. And like I said, I'm not using a measuring spoon. I have to feed it the quantity that's in here. Otherwise, the wild yeast will not feed properly and increase. I have to add double the quantity I added yesterday, okay? And then as much water as it would be for a pancake batter consistency. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add some water. I haven't measured the water, so now I will mix it and show you the consistency. I still need a little bit more water. I do not believe in the 1-to-1-to-1 ratio, meaning if you have 1 cup of starter, you need 1 cup flour and 1 cup of water. I believe in adding 1 cup of flour to 1 cup of starter, approximately, like give or take. The water, definitely, as much as the flour will take, not with a measure. I have some water here. I'm just gonna add a little bit more, mix it and show you consistency again. Okay, so I just wanna show you. This is a little bit thick. I'll add just a couple of drops, but this one is okay too. Just so you know, sourdough starter is very forgiving if you understand the science behind it. Now the consistency should be good. Look, it doesn't stay on the fork, it falls right off. So now this is good consistency. All right, we'll come back in the evening and I'll again loosely cover it, put it in a warm place and leave it until the evening, and then I'll come back to it again approximately 10 to 12 hours later. Now we have come to day 2. You could see there are some bubbles here, nothing major, and definitely no rising, like the level is still the same. So I will feed it again, approximately this time, maybe 3 spoonfuls to kind of mimic whatever is inside the jar, more or less. It doesn't have to be exact, remember that. You will be fine, you just have to trust the process. This is okay, right? And then loosely cover it. And now it might be a good idea to start putting a rubber band around where I end the feeding. I'm not gonna do it yet because I know there won't be much activity happening, but later on, maybe by day 4 or 5, I'm gonna put a rubber band to mark where I have ended, okay? I'll see you tomorrow morning. Good morning, today is day 3 and something exciting has been happening here. So I just wanna show you, there are a bit of bubbles. Show you the bubbling actions happening. It has not increased, but it does have some bubbles. I do see that it might have risen to here and fell back, but be careful not to trust this because it's still not strong enough to support a loaf of bread. Continue to feed it. So I'm going to feed it. Today is day 3 morning. I will go ahead and feed it again, and I will feed as much as there is a starter. I will put flour approximately, and I want you to be confident that it would work. Okay, depending on your home, if your home has high humidity, you will use less water. If your home is very dry, you're going to use more water. Also, this recipe for making sourdough starter works as well with whole wheat flour. It works very well with fresh milled flour. Fresh milled flour actually produces great results with that, which I also have made. The only thing is that you have to understand that fresh milled has different protein levels. And so you need to use a high protein flour. I have found that einkorn does not have very high protein, like hard red and hard white, and it becomes less bubbly or rises less than hard white wheat and hard red wheat. Soft white wheat is not for this type of thing, it's more for pastries, so I wouldn't encourage you to do a sourdough starter with it. And now, in the evening, I'm gonna have to discard some. But look, we're only discarding as of day what? Day 3 evening. Normally, with any other recipe, you would be discarding starting from day 1. It's a lot of flour to discard. But now I can take the discard, put it in a separate jar. Tomorrow morning, I can make pancakes for my children, and it would work beautifully. It's semi-active, but pancakes do not need a very high rise, not like a bread. And the reason I do this without measurement, and the reason a lot of people fail with measurement, is because every home is different, every flour type is different. I'm adding more water. It's a little too thick. Now, remember, you don't want it to be too loose either. More like a pancake batter. So you see, like that, right? Okay, just gonna quickly clean the fork, cover it loosely, and I'll see you in the evening. All right, put it in warm area. And the place that I like to put my sourdough starter in is the oven with just the light on, but make sure the oven was not turned on prior. And that temperature produced by the light would be enough to warm up the starter and keep it active or keep it going. Also, do not seal the cover And the most important thing, please do not put napkin. Commercial napkin has chemicals and things in it, and it has been shown to grow mold on your starter, and that's not a good thing. Mold means throw it out, start over, okay? I'll see you in the evening. So we have reached to the third evening, and the jar is half full. So I cannot feed it with almost the same amount because then I'm not leaving any space for if any growth happens. So I have to discard. Third evening discarding versus first day discarding, big difference. So now I'm not gonna waste so much. Now I'm gonna take about half of this. I'll put it in this jar. Tomorrow morning, I'll make some pancakes. I could even make pita bread with the discard. I could just incorporate it as a replacement for a portion of the flour and water in the recipe. So I'm just gonna discard half. Again, I'll eyeball it and it is fine. About, give or take. I need to feed this and be prepared. Maybe tomorrow morning I may see, oops, I dropped some flour there. Maybe tomorrow morning I may see some bubbling activities more than usual. So I'll be prepared for that. All right, I think that's enough. And oops, put some water and mix it. Just get rid of this flour. I'm gonna get rid of this flour. Okay, perfect consistency. Mix up whatever flour that is there. I will put a rubber band now. Tonight is the third night. I'm not gonna close this tight. I just wipe my hand. I went ahead and I put a rubber band around it to mark where it stopped so that I can see if it grew any more by the morning. And I'll see you tomorrow morning for day 4. Good morning, and this is day 4 of the starter. I just wanted to show you what I have seen. So number 1, I don't believe it grew any, but look how foamy it looks. I'm not sure if you're able to see this. I'm gonna try to bring it a little closer. It's very foamy. That can happen due to the condition of my home. That could happen due to anything, the warmth, the temperature, all of that, right? So I will again discard and take that to make something else. I could just store it in the fridge. I don't believe we have so much to discard going forward based on what I'm looking at. Maybe tomorrow I will see a strong starter, but we'll see. I don't want to prematurely judge this. Also, when the starter gets warm and active, it liquefies a little bit. So this is why I don't follow the 1-to-1-to-1 method, because it will become like water. It's not going to have anything to rise based on. Alrighty. Okay, so I have now dropped about half, as you can see right here. And I will feed it as usual again, and we'll see in the evening if anything changes. I'll put, this is a 24-ounce mason jar. So this far, I've been feeding it maybe 4 heaped spoons and some water. I'll just put some more water. I'm satisfied with that texture. Again, I reach to the rubber band. If you can see it, I reach to the rubber band right now, right? And I will loosely cover it again and stick it back inside unheated oven and just have the light turned on, okay? Hello, this is day 4 evening, and let's see what's the status of the starter. I want to show you inside the jar before I start to feed it. Do you see the bubbles? I hope you guys are able to see the bubbles. It didn't rise, but there's definitely a lot of bubbles in there, which tells me I'm very close. That could happen day 5, could happen day 6, could happen day 7, anywhere up to 10 days or 11 days even, so long as it's the right temperature. And now the jar is starting to get a little crusty all around, right? It is okay so long as I am monitoring that there are no signs of mold. For now, it's okay. And when it's all done and ready, then I will transfer it to a clean jar and keep it there, and that's what I'm gonna use. So for today, I will discard as usual. Try to take half of what's there. All right, and let me get a spoon. All right, and this I will use for pancakes tomorrow morning or sourdough pizza crust, which the kids love a lot. Maybe a little bit more. It's up so that it's approximately equivalent to what's in there. I'll add some water. And the water, preferable to be filtered water. Room temperature is good, just don't put hot water. But also if you have filtered water in your fridge, straight from your fridge, that's okay too. So long as you're gonna put this starter in an environment that's warm, and it will help it out afterwards. Needs a little more, it's a little doughy. Okay, and that's the right texture that I wanted to reach. I will cover it loosely as usual. I'll adjust the rubber band, it went slightly down, and then put it in a warm place. And tomorrow morning, we'll see if there is any change. If not, we just keep going and we have faith. That's all. Hello, it's the morning of day 5, and I wanted to show you. So it looks like this has grew a little bit overnight. It reached to here and then fell back again, which indicates that it's hungry. I will discard again in here and I will feed it as usual. And let's see tonight what will happen with it, because I have a feeling if it started to grow already, this means there is a lot more that might happen tonight. I always like to see it grow twice before I am confident I have a strong starter. That means when I feed it and I stop here, I want to see that it has doubled 2 feedings in a row. Okay, so I'll feed it again now. Okay. All right. And I have again reached to the middle of the jar, right around the rubber band. So we'll see in the evening what will happen to it, okay? Hello, it is day 5 evening, and I just want to show you what it looks like inside. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, can you see all these bubbles? Hopefully that means tomorrow morning it will be more active. Again, I'm gonna pour half in here and approximately, and I will feed it again. Yeah, look at this. Look how active or bubbly it is. It's not yet active. I wouldn't consider it active. Some bakers bake with this and they have good results. So I like to have it doubled before I bake with it. And this way I have better result with my bread. Okay, let me just pour some water. Okay, and now it's about the right texture. Put it in the oven, and I hope tomorrow morning I get to see it double, in which case my project is done. I have a strong sourdough starter that I get to use and later on keep in the fridge. Now, it's important to name your starter. It's a fun thing that children get involved in. Yeah, so go ahead and name your starter. There you go. I'm feeding it. I'll just loosely cover it and put it back in the oven. Hello, this morning it is day 6, and look what I found the starter looking like. And I want to show you how it looks inside. Look at that, right? Super bubbly and active. And that finishes the assignment for me. So now I have an active, it literally doubled. It actually doubled to here. You can see a little bit here, and then it started to fall again, which says that it's a little bit hungry. So that actually finishes the assignment for me. Now I have an active starter. Let me know how yours does. Again, warmth and the right temperature and environment is really key.